In this video, we'll be going over the count function in Google Sheets. And this is Adam Steinfurth with SheetsHelp.com. The purpose of the count function is to count the number of numeric values in a data set. And like all functions, you will start it with an equal sign, then type out the name of the function. Do it in all caps just to use best practices, but you don't have to. And then inside the parentheses is where you put the values that you want it to count. All right, so let's go over this more with a few examples. The first example is where we're just going to count a range of numbers. So let's say we have some temperatures and the numbers are in the range of A2 through A5. So we'll type out count, open parentheses, type out the range, close the parentheses and hit enter. And here the count function sees 4 numbers and returns a 4. That's the most simple application. In this next example, we'll show how it treats blanks. In the column on the left, there's 2 numbers and 2 blanks. And the count function here counts the first 2 numbers, but then the blanks, it counts them as 0. So it does not count them, and the total is 2. But if you have the same list, but have filled in the blanks as zeros, it's going to count this as 4. So even though these number values in row 4 and 5 are 0, they still come up when you do a count. But in our next example, we're going to count text and numbers. And the count function you will see will ignore any non-numerical value. So row 2 is text, it ignores it. Row 3 is blank, we already know it ignores that. Row 4 is also text, so all that the count function is going to pick up here is the number value in row 5, and it will just count a 1. Now, if you want to count any non-blank cells, you want to use the count A function instead. So I'll link to a video about how to use that. But circling back to just the count function, this column of values only has 1 number, so the count function is going to return a 1. In this fourth example, we will count dates. Date values are just a different form of numbers. So the count function will count them, but it won't count them if it's an invalid date. So when you look at this data set in row 2, but Google Sheets doesn't recognize it as a date, so it won't count it. So the total here is going to be 3. Fifth example, we're going to try to count boolean values, which is true and false. The count function doesn't recognize those, so it's going to count as 0. If you're doing multiple counts in one column, maybe you have different sections of numbers, I recommend using the SUBTOTAL function. Watch this next video to learn how to do that. Thanks for watching.